To their credit, already straight into Q2.
On the 4 previous occasions, Dovi top 5 here this weekend could spell the end of his championship charge. A huge session to rule him out. The Pramac boys are ready. Jack Miller, one of the favourites for this one. Pecco Bagnaia, Francesco Guidotti. He's with Simon at the start of this Q1 session.
Yes, Francesco, the guy's happy. Is Jack feeling stronger?
Yeah, he always feels strong. Always something can happen. There can be always some surprise. So,
Rosie.
yeah, he doesn't feel anything. He has no feeling at all.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks to Francesco Guidotti. Yeah, Pecco Bagnaia yesterday saying it didn't look like it has so far. So, well, it'll be a hard session for Pecco Bagnaia. It was only a few days ago, of course, he was celebrating on the top step over in Le Mans with the Ducati struggling.
Yeah, no presence on track right now for Danilo Petrucci. A tricky second session as well. Poor old Pecco Bagnaia, green with envy every time, and they've just got so much better rear grip, particularly at lean angle. That's where he's struggling in Le Mans after a couple of really strong performances in Misano.
He has wrestled his way, so we'll track his progress. There is the number 63, the former Moto2, Aleix Espargaro and Dovi. So Dovi's got a reference up ahead of him. Normally likes to go on his reference in this session. In fact, just shooting straight through on him in turn 12.
Yeah, not down the back straight, because that would have been a no contest. The Ducati probably anything
Stronger as the sessions go by. All of the riders pretty much on that back straight. 17, so the first of the laps then are going to come through.
Yeah, the word Brad Binder used to describe his recent run of 14 points taken in his last 5 races as he goes straight to the top of the timesheets in this session.
Yes, it's looking like 47s are going to get you a place into Q2. Good. Binder from Bagnaia in the early stages, with Dovi 3rd, Rabat 4th and Bradley Smith 5th as well. He's 3/10 up on his own best time through there, so there's a 47 potentially coming from the Brunel.
Something from a really complicated weekend so far, a complicated week really in Aragon. Through turn 11, and he'll drop down the hill over the blind crest, tricky braking zone into turn 12. Behind him, Miller and Binder, well, they're charging. There's going to be 47s up for grabs. But
there's Miller and Binder. Miller's carrying it through sector 3 as well, and is he going to get a bit of a tow? Not that they need Miller as he tries to find a way through on Tito Rabat. Dovi then will come around the last corner from Jack Miller then. Great time from him.
Yeah, Dovizioso then this in Q2. Pol Espargaro's got himself into second with a 47.848, but Miller,
he was on a decent lap there. 3/10 up he was through sector 3. What happened? And he did well to sit this one up, because that would have been a low side. It was unsettled in 9th.
Nothing between the Espargaro brothers, although it's advantage pole, which he was 0.02 of a second away from younger bro.
Well, we said 47s would be needed to get through to Q2. It might be.
Was not a million miles away from that all-important top 2. In fact, it was just 200 in the locker. It's a case of how much more everybody else around him can improve as well, because that's been a Ducati problem this week.
He's running out of leathers. Still got the scuffs on there from his crash earlier on. That lap there, only half a second off, but only minutes to go in Q1. Brad Binder readying himself for run number 2. Would advance. Here are the 2 Aprilias. Bradley Smith is 11th. Aleix Espargaro.
Be wrong for him, and quite rarely he lost his rag, didn't he? The gloves came off, he stomped out the back of the by his teammate Danilo Petrucci. Well, at the moment he's not going to be a happy boy as well today.
Thing extra because they're right on his tail.
Yeah, quick tyre change from there, did they? Tito Rabat also says, okay, I'll have a look on the back of the 2 Ducati GP20s.
Yeah, I am not surprised. It's not often in the career of Andrea Dovizioso that he's seeked a little bit of 15. And you can see there those Ducatis squatting onto the back straight.
Well, Pol Espargaro and Aleix Espargaro. Now Miller, Bagnaia peels in. Best from him so far, 7th.
He's not happy at all, is he?
The body language just sums it all up, doesn't it? kind of really happy with anything that's going on the circuit so far this weekend. They thought they might have found, but they are not magicians.
Not everyone got a brand new soft rear on here, including Pol Espargaro. Well, you have to say, this is a good chance for him now to try and advance. He's behind the fastest man contender. Dobby then seeking help from fellow Ducati rider Jack Miller. Can it work with
them, were they? Miller got that early banker in, and now he's lead.
He rolls out as well. Now if Dobby goes in and tucks straight behind Miller, you have to believe.
Lap in, and then for the second run, can you do us a massive favour and drag around and
Chip is done, and he knows he's going to be in that saddle next year. He's not going to say no. Brad Binder, flying race winner, made steps forward since last week, that's for sure. Up by 10. He's just got to try and find his way through turn 12. Has that cost him? Will it have distracted him seeing
Miller, Dovizioso and Rabat on board now with Pol Espargaro? At the moment,
Binder did lose a bit of time, and at the moment it's estimated P8. Unless he can. Pol Espargaro still in contention as well. Around the final corner then for the South African. That KTM screaming for time.
They are running out of time. At best they're going to get 2 more laps in this session, but how much have they got left?
On second, but improves his time. He's 2 tenths closer to Jack Miller as Pit Byra looks on, and Miller.
Yeah, and
Dobby's up.
Yeah, brilliant.
One of the most important qualifying sessions of Andrea Dovizioso's life. But for now, we've got to stay with Andrea Dovizioso. How big is this going to be? Well, that's exactly what will happen right now. Dobby's estimated P3, but it depends on how close he is.
Petrucci, Binder.
We could have our... He's throwing it all out there. Petrucci also on a decent lap. Look at... He's going to have to, he's got one last shot at this. I don't think this will quite be enough. Dobby comes across the line, he's third. Now it's over as they tip it into turn 1. He just about got the anchors on there, but what a lap this is coming from.
In second place.
Bradl might get second here. We've got to keep an eye on him. Petrucci.
Absolutely top ride by Stefan Bradl. Brilliant by him. He's excelled on so many occasions.
And he will not go through to Q2, and there's better laps coming in from the likes of Binder as well. So it is over for...
Only twice this year, Andrea Dovizioso. Red Bull Ring 1 and Le Mans as he qualified.
Binder's just behind Dobby as well. Binder, in fact, Dobby is right in Binder's way, of course.
You can see how vital that banker lap early on was from Miller, because that looks like it's going to get him into the second.
Followed by Brad Binder. Binder's just a little bit further back. Here he is now. Miller sits up and out of it. Is this actually going to...
P2 right now is Johan Zarco, so there may well be some late Arte coming here for Miller. Binder, big slide. Got it. He did get it late on. Oh, Alexis Spargaro for what? 3-4 seconds was in Q. Wow. So there's a Ducati coming through, but not the one they wanted.
Incredible. Johan, there's another glove going off in a Ducati garage.
Dobby punted to 7th.
Well, that's 7th this season. Let's hear from Mike Leitner. Bittersweet that session. Binder was a bit hampered in traffic. He's 5th, but...
Not over yet, I know, but what do you think of Pol's lap and how close it was for Brad?
Yeah, maybe he could be faster, but yeah, it's how it is. We have 3 KTM in Q2, and for us now for Paul with the rear tire, you never have any rear tire for Q2, so yeah, we have to take...
dismay and disappointment from Ducati riders than we're seeing at the moment.
Well, it looked like the strategy was for Miller to lead Ducati, but Dovizioso, but it didn't pay off at all. Now, Alexis Spargaro a place in Q2, so the former factory KTM boys, Pol Espargaro going so well.
Good effort from Brad Binder, but a bit of a slide on the last corner, and you could see a little frustration
as well. He was incensed with what happened. One of his poorest qualifying performances, tyres than they wanted to, and Andrea Dovizioso, well, unfortunately, you might be able to win Moto3 races from 17th for Andrea Dovizioso, and that again is a...
Brad Binder, they've definitely found something in terms of speed outright. Binder has a bit of work.
So Paul Espargaro and Johan Zarco, they are the two men that have negotiated the Frenchman Zarco in second place, who just late on took second spot from a late Espargaro. Frustradoso will start 17th. Pecco Bagnaia will go from 18th. Danilo Petrucci from 19th. Nightmare in that Q1 session. Tito Rabat was 10th ahead of British rider. So two world champions.
With each round that goes by, each qualifying set, we're about to decide the grid for the Grand Prix of Teruel, and we've just seen the fastest former teammate Johan Zarco as we now decide the front 4 rows of the grid. Turning into quite a pleasant, and it's sounding very much like we're going to be into the 146ers in qualifying 2. Nekes in 2015, finally beaten. Maybe we will. It's looking pretty good. It's shaping. And Johan Zarco, Morbidelli, Nakagami, Quartararo, Vinales, Alex Marquez, Ikaleklo, and the World Championship leader Joan Mir, who just made it through via Q1 session. He's mighty relieved that he did as well. Really, really interesting. Nakagami and Alex Marquez stand decent chances.
They really do. You'd always there are the Pyrenees in the distance there, providing a spectacular backdrop mode sessions, but you can make a very strong case for Taka Nakagami taking pole position for Teruel in Barcelona a few weeks ago, didn't he? Was strong in both FP3 and FP4. Looks second qualifying session.
Yeah, 3 front row starts for Franco Morbidelli so far this season.
At the front row, got to be looking at that. The way he's performed so far this weekend, his race pace is certainly, he's certainly been very, very close or inside the top 3, so it would not be a great
been on pole 4 times. Was on pole, of course, here just 1 week ago. Too bad. Quartararo, though, always knows how to light it up. Honestly, up in this next 15 minutes.
Qualifying inside the top 10 for the first time. He only got into Q2 for the first time last weekend here in Aragon. In place for the Repsol Honda man. Maverick Vinales, well, he just concluded a very successful FP4 set, trying to rediscover some podium form, just 1 in the last 8, but he's still right in the heart.
Leader qualified in 6th to finish 3rd on Sunday. He'd been on the front row of a race that many people thought he could and should have won. Got to be on the front, a decent lap time.
If you're a Ducati fan, in the hands of Johan Zarco, a disastrous Q1 for the likes of Jack Miller and Andre.
On earth is going on at the moment? Never mind the World Championship into these issues heading into 2021. You never know though. Sunday and race, bit of luck in their way. Pat on the bike from Maverick, of course, the Grand Prix of Emilia-Romagna, which he won. Miguel Oliveira doing a brilliant job. We heard from Hervé Poncharal earlier on. He's excited about the prospect of his 2 men.
In that opening qualifying session to come out of it with Johan Zarco.
It's against the clock. Do our guys in IPF suggest that Franco Morbidelli is the favourite going into this one, as you can see there? Another, because to be honest with you, the speed of all of these 12 guys, any one of
the favourites for pole. Speaking of poles, pole position, and Paul Espargaro just went through your program, his first time in Q2 this year. So anything a bonus from this point onwards.
To first. Not been on the front row all year.
Well, he hasn't qualified top 6 since that thriller, the last lap battle at the British Grand Prix. That seems like a long time ago now, doesn't it? Circuit. And latched straight onto the rear tyre of Joan Mir.
As Matt says, Alex Rins not really a Saturday man. Sunday has been a Saturday man and hasn't been able to deliver on a Sunday, but he's still well in contention for this World Championship. He sits there. Rins will be the first man over the line to set the first flying lap. There's Ikalekwa Oliveira. Let's get the first lap then over the line. A 48.673 for Alex Rins.
Yeah,
to challenge for a pole position.
Alex Rins can dream about a pole position, but that's not going to cut it at all. It's inside the top 3. Oliveira then picks up the running with a 48.286, but Nakagami, the Japanese man, on pole, or provisional pole right now.
Yeah, we just saw a 47. Here's Maverick Vinales just heading down the back straight into the final sector.
Like a top race if they can get away early on, like we saw Alex Rins do in such brilliant fashion from 10th last week. Maverick Vinales, this looks like he's soaring to top spot. Indeed he is. Straight away in the 47s. 47
through sector 1. He's half a second up in sector 1 alone. Here is Franco Rins coming into turn 16 and 17. Nakagami now 6/10 clear in sector 2.
47.593. This is his 60th qualifying session in MotoGP. And credit to him, because right now he's comfortably at the head of the pack. 3/10 clear of Maverick Vinales. What about Miguel Lecuona now into second place? Rins, Lecuona and Oliveira. That was briefly your front row.
Coco second. A 47.297. What has Fabio Quartararo got? It says
happen now, Steve, to Zarco, because he went out there on a brand new soft rear tyre. Now, is that the only new soft tyre he's got, having come through?
Franco Morbidelli's up in sector 2.
It does look like you are going at a top spot. Vinales goes into 6th place. There he is on the 12 bike
lap. Here comes Franco Morbidelli though. Where is this putting the Italian? He's definitely moving up from 11th. He might be on the front row. Up into P2 and Joan Mir again through sector 1. Nothing going.
What about Rins? Trying to get to with that. One of his better qualifyings of the year. Moves up another spot. 47.442.
Then Alex Marquez at the moment in the final sector. There is going to be an improvement here, probably 8th or 9th. No, he's rolled out of it, come straight into pit lane, and Joan 11th and 12th as it stands. 7 minutes to go. Right now we would see a bit of history made
again for that little spell out on circuit. The two main men in the championship have been out within 50 metres of each. Kagami then right now on course for pole position for the first time in his MotoGP World.
Remember, that guy's on a 2019 machine, Taka Nakagami,
which was a pretty year, but even so, you've still got to get on it and match the pace and performance of one of the
this year where Fabio Quartararo has been off the front row. In fact, there's only been once.
Now to see how Joan Mir handles the heat of the moment, the pressure coming from with Frankie Cacciadi as crew chief. He will not be wanting to start from the back of a sensational launch off the line with the Suzuki whole shot device. Well, you wouldn't put it past Rins starting 5th to be.
Simon, a little word on the tyres going into this second stint.
Yeah, guys, it's right now that it becomes Q2, because the guys like Zarco and well, Zarco sadly has left as a brand new medium.
Thank you very much for that, Simon. Mir in Franco Morbidelli at the moment. He won't mind if the checkered flag came out right now. Second on the grid it would be for Frankie.
Who's going to deal well with the pressure late on here in this qualifying session? So much of Taka Nakagami sitting on top of the pile. As we mentioned earlier on, his rider to have a MotoGP pole position. Is that 16-year barren run about to come to an
Yamaha's on pole position? That was, of course, Bruno Joan Zarco on the Sponsorama Racing of Styria.
You could just see there going through the shot, Quartararo being tailed by Alex Rins. It's been Rins or Mir that have been looked at by Quartararo, and vice versa.
Maverick Vinales. Here comes Taka Nakagami. He was one of the first out for the city to follow anyone. Could it be a famous?
No, they're so close to a famous pole position here for Taka Nakagami.
Crucial 3 minutes coming up for the World Championship leader, but he's got company. Alex Marquez just behind him, and then with big,
that was a big head shake, wasn't it? A big speed wobble for Fabio.
So easy to do as well, out of the final corner, because there's a crest there. You get on the curbs. Let's see a replay. Because he took too much curb on the inside. That's what caused him the issue.
It's a bit of a teeth rattler then. A brilliant job by Zarco, having come out of Q1.
It's looking like, Matt, Mir, because there's absolutely nobody other than Joan Zarco on a hot lap right now.
Winding up for a last lap attack then here, the Frenchman. In the business right now, number 5, Joan Zarco. And this will be his last flying lap of the session.
At the moment, looking at the sectors, they're all grey right now, which means that there's no one on a personal best lap. Joan Mir, you can see, is about to cross the line, bottom left of your picture, and this is it for Joan Mir.
This is a belting lap time coming in from Polis Bargrove, bearing in mind he's only got a brand new medium rear tyre left as well.
Here is Franco Morbidelli at the moment, P2 for him. To 2 again is Taka Nakagami.
Now then, Maverick Vinales, is he going to make it over for one more lap at it? It's going to be super, super tight.
It will be close.
This is going to be very...
Smoking it. What a lap this is. It's going to be a 1:46 from Taka Nakagami. Is this going to be pole position? Team, they will be going mad here. He's just got to keep it squeaky clean around this final corner. It's a bit of a...
Nakagami, Lucio Cecchinello looks on. He tries to find out if anybody's putting that under threat. And it is coming. Excellent second sector. They can't celebrate just yet. LCR Honda. Nakagami. Look at that. The gap between Nakagami and Quartararo. Late fall for Johan Zarco. It's down to 800ths of a second. Going to break Taka Nakagami's heart. No Japanese pole in 16 years did that big moment on the front row.
Wow! Alex Rins on the front row, but for how long? Maverick Vinales and Taka Nakagami is about to become the first Japanese rider, surely, on pole. This is, where does Maverick put himself? Can he get himself on the front row here and push off Alex Rins?
Last year, when he crashed out of the leader course, he won't thank me for reminding me of that one, but Taka Nakagami, MotoGP since Makoto Tamada, way back at the end of 2004. Let's go straight down a pit. Lucio Cecchinello with Simon.
Lucio, how happy are you with that?
Well, very happy for everybody. Really happy, really happy.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's so much this year at the beginning, and then now finally we see some light and to finish this championship in a very special way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to Lucio Cecchinello. Back in 2004, Tetsuhiro Kawata coming through to congratulate Giacomo.
And that new 2-year contract from HRC. What a special moment in that man's career. And coincidentally, Takeo Yokoyama, a Japanese rider on a Honda, on top spot in a MotoGP army. He's pumped and quite...
And on pole position here, Taka Nakagami.
Brilliant.
A round of applause for that man.
Credit to Alex Rins, as we said, his first front row since the Dutch TT in Assen last year. A rare front... Tetsuhiro Kawata and Alberto Puig, well, they... And that's exactly why he did it. 46.882, 600 clear of Franco Morbidelli.
Yeah, that's a very good job. Only 600ths of a second off. And a 46 off from Nakagami on the all-time lap record. It's not often this year that you'll find Maverick Vinales and
Say if the Honda can get away, he's worried. And what about Alex Rins? We know how good the Suzuki is in the second half. And keep his composure at the start. Well, can he bolt? Will it be Rins versus Nakagami as a showdown
so far? And what about Joan Mir, the World Championship leader, 12th place on the grid?
People outside the paddock right now are thinking Nakagami, Rins, yeah, they've got a serious chance of winning. Vinales and Quartararo on that second row. Joan Mir, the World Championship leader, starting 12th. Pole sitter of the 2020 season. If he wins the race tomorrow, of course, he'll be our 9th front winners in a single year. That was, of course, Michelin's first season back in MotoGP in 2016. And you have a big pre-race favourite. First front row start for Alex Rins since Assen last